And they now have their own brand of matte acrylics. And Dick Blick just recently bought Utrecht, so they're gonna be merging, and supposedly they're gonna keep separate brand names. But I'm kind of interested in seeing what they're going to do with all of that. I don't know if I haven't actually looked to see if Utrecht has a matte acrylic available, because if they do, I'd like to try them. But these I like a lot. These have a good feel to them. They're not slimy feeling like the Liquitex, and they have a really good selection of colors, and they're not expensive. This was $2, as opposed to these you can get for 99 cents, the apple barrel ones. Sometimes you can find them on sale at Walmart for even less. But these I like a lot because they are opaque and they're dead flat. They dry dead flat. So what I did is I just grabbed a whole sampling of different brands of the acrylics that I'm using. This is called Life Color. This is a ultramarine blue type color that I bought a couple years ago because I was out of Vallejo. And then this is Model Master. This is a burnt sienna that I like a lot in Model Master. And so it's nice to have choices and to be able to pick out colors and stuff that you like.
Does paint go bad
It,
as far as storage and?
in Las Vegas, that's my biggest problem is the heat, because we won't air condition the house when we're gone for a while. So it's a really good test. And so far, all of these that have a great deal in the bottle are okay. But anything that's getting low, like a lot of my Vallejos I've had for over 10 years, because I just use so little out of them, and those are starting to dry up. But that being said, they're 10 years old, so I think that's a pretty good track record. This one feels a little light in my hand, and it looks like it's thickening a little bit, but it's almost down to the bottom. So they're holding up. They're holding up to the Las Vegas weather, and like I said, I mean, if you want to find out how durable something is, take it to the desert and leave it for a little while and see what happens. Food like dried foods that, like in Modesto, normally, dried foods would last forever, and that if I kept them in Tupperware, and I find stuff is going bad and rancid. Anything with oils in it, any foods that have oils in it, you got to use it up like in 6 months, or it all goes bad. And paint is a very similar story. I bought, the other day I was at Michael's or Hobby Lobby or something, and I wanted to try to see the difference between the Folk Art and the Apple Barrel, and then when I got them home I realized it's the same brand, and I really don't know what the difference is, because one is a little more expensive than the other. But I'm having good results with both, so if I find a color in one label that is better than another, then I'll just buy it and use it. So they all seem to intermix pretty well together. It's just a matter of having the tools that you want to work with. This is I don't remember who the manufacturer is on this. This may be a Quadra Concepts, but I can't remember who the manufacturer is. But this is a Red Lancer, and I've had it on my workbench for, I don't know, about a year. And when I'm doing other figures, I'll have, because I mix my grayscale up in a big clump, I'll have a little bit of paint left over after a painting session. And so I'll pick him up and do some more shadowing or something on it. So I'll pass it around, but you can see there's like sometimes I'm using more of a blue gray, sometimes I'm using more of a brown gray. The Lincoln was a green gray. So he's got a kind of a wide variety of different colors of grays. I always mix my grays. I don't use black and white. My grays I make with brown and blue, or green and brown, or I use complementary colors to make grays, and then I'll add white or a cream color to it. On the Lincoln, I haven't really used a lot of white on it. I've been, instead of tinting the gray with white, I've been using this Delta Ceramcoat Queen Anne's Lace. This is one of my favorite colors. I love this color. And this I'll actually use for flesh tones and all kinds of things. And the reason why I do that is because then if you need to go for a higher highlight, you still have white to go in a higher highlight. So those are the colors that I use the most. And I go for this is dark blue deep Dick Blick, and it's actually not as deep as I had hoped. I was hoping for a dark Prussian blue, which is really the blue that I use the most out of the Vallejos, is dark Prussian blue. This is one of the colors that I use up the most. And then the camouflage black brown, I think. German camouflage black brown and the Prussian blue is my favorite gray color. That's mostly what's on here at this point. So I thought I'd try some of these other paints and get some blues and stuff out of them to see if they were deep enough. But I'm just going to put a few out on the palette, if I can remember which ones are which. That would be a miracle.